All right, here we are, just arrived at Kaihin Makuhari Chiba, Kaihin Makuhari Station, and we're here at the 2025 Tokyo Comic Con, or at least we're headed on our way there. How many times I've been to this thing? I've been to the initial one in whatever year that was. Man, I'm just at a loss right now. That could have been like 7, 8, 9 years ago, but I was at the initial one. And then from then, this is probably like number 6 or 7 that I attended. So, highly looking forward to it, even though it's stuff that I've already seen. There's going to be new things inside of there to experience, but I'll explain that more when we're on the floor. Now, I always enjoy this little comforting walk to get over here to the Makuhari Messe, which is the convention center that this is always being held at. It's always adequate space to house all of the exhibitions inside of here and all of the people that come through here. It's an extremely nice space, and the great thing, or at least the best thing about it, is that this is in, I wouldn't say walking distance to my home, but you know, this is very close to home for me. I could just get on a bicycle and make it out here, or could even run for that matter if I really wanted to, but just to say the least. The other crazy thing about this whole situation is that they call this the Tokyo Comic Con, even though that this place is here in Chiba, along with a lot of other great places and venues that are here inside of Chiba. But Tokyo is always stealing, I guess, the naming rights, or swooping in and, you know, stealing the glory for things that are being housed here. And that kind of sucks. You know, this needs to be called the Chiba Comic Con. I think it will ring more true and it'll be a lot better. Narita Airport, so-called Tokyo International Airport, Chiba. Tokyo Game Show, Tokyo Auto Salon, Tokyo Disneyland, Chiba. I think you guys get the picture. So we're at the entry point for the venue now. I mean, we're already inside the facility, but we're still not looking at the show. I have to go ahead and get the ticket because I'm one of them guys that just kind of show up at, you know, not the wee hours of the night, but I show up quite late to these things, and I never buy my ticket online, so I always come here and I buy it physically, you know, face to face. And the time that I'm arriving, which is about 1:30 right now in the afternoon, you know, long after the show had opened and there was long queues to get inside of here. Now I just walk up to the ticket booth and there's probably like, 3 people ahead of me. Just go ahead and buy the ticket. They hand it right over to me and then I just walk in. And that's the way we're gonna take care of it today. All right, so went ahead and got that ticket. They tell me I need to go downstairs and around through the back and enter. Always have trouble entering this place. So I had to ask her this time to make sure for sure that I'm heading in the right direction, and I believe I am. I'll tell you guys something else. All of the signage here that's written inside of Japanese, all of the Gaikokujin that are visiting the country, they're definitely going to have a hard time following this and the directions on how to get inside of this place. I mean, it seems simple enough, but it could be quite complicated if you can't read the signs and you're just kind of walking all over the place just wandering. They probably think that near the place where I got this ticket from, it's probably going to be the entry point near, but that's not even the case. You got to go all the way down the hall, down the stairs to the first floor, because I got this from the second floor. Then you got to walk all the way around the whole venue to the back side, and then you enter. But, you know, if you can't follow that signage, which none of it is in English, yeah, you're just going to be up Schitt's Creek. I've already turned about 1, 2, 3 corners now, just getting to this position. And then getting ready to turn another corner. Hopefully I'll be inside of there soon. Man, who knows how long this walk is going to be. It's however long they anticipated those lines to be at the beginning of the day is how long they'll make this walk be. This looks like it. This looks like the ticket check right here. Okay, so this is the entry point here that I just came in from. And we are literally gonna walk the entire floor of this whole convention, exposition, whatever you want to call it. I guess convention, since that's in the name. I don't want to mess it up too bad, but yes, here we are at the very beginning. And what we're looking at right here is the Tokyo Comic Con exhibition area. Hey, I think I said that inside of there somewhere, exhibition. And we got a whole lot of movie costumes inside of here. We got one of Wolverine's original costumes from the X-Men movies there. We got Beast inside of there. And of course, we got the greatest superhero of all time in the greatest superhero costume of all time. This is Christopher Reeve's Superman. Of course, this thing is here literally every single year, and I got photos of it and whatnot. This is a suit from Superman 3. And it's so dark, it definitely looks like the one where he was, you know, drunk and shooting beer nuts at whiskey glasses and drinking Johnny Walker and stuff. This might be that outfit. This thing has gotten quite dirty. These to go inside the laundry machine, and they should have did that before they took it to this show. But sure enough, there it is. Let's look at some other pieces here. This is a Star Trek luggage capsule. And then we got the tricorder. Look at that right there. You got an original tricorder. Wow. Oh man. Could pick that up in everything. That is absolutely nuts. All right. Close it up. You know, he does it with that flick of the wrist. All right, that's cool. That is cool. Pig mask from Saw. I think I had told you guys earlier inside of this video that I would explain about a lot of this stuff. I said a whole lot of this memorabilia is going to be stuff that is here every single year, and it might be a few new pieces from year to year, but for the most part, we're always coming looking at the same stuff. Aside from the celebrities themselves that come here, I would say that 80% of this stuff is mainstay. Could be 90% is mainstay, with maybe 10 to 20% being new things every year. I'm looking at some golden tickets from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory right now. I don't think I remember seeing this. And got a little motorcycle here. Let's take a look. This is the Johnny Depp Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I assume the reason that they're showing all of this is because Johnny Depp is here at the moment as we speak. He's doing fan service right now, taking pictures with the people, and he's probably the most expensive guest to have come to the Tokyo Comic Con. If you want to get a picture taken with him, it's going to be 79,000 Japanese yen, which is probably something along the lines of $600. It could be a little bit less than that, but roughly it's going to be about 600 USD. And by comparison, a usual price that you could pay to take a photo with a celebrity, depending on who it is, but for the most part, most of the celebrities on average is going to be $25,000 to to 29,000 Japanese yen at the most. But as I said, Johnny Depp is 69,000 Japanese yen. So it's quite a lot. Got some commentary coming from over here. You guys might not be able to hear that. But we got some wrestling here. New Japan Pro or whatnot. But this is always here. That's nothing new, but always a pleasure to see. Because you know I am a big fan. I am a big fan. And of course, like I said, this is very Japan oriented. None of this stuff is in English for overseas visitors to understand. It's just very Japan centric, and they're trying to bring Japanese people into the fold of more or less American pop culture. This UWF wrestling, this is kind of a rarity. I mean, here's a venue for them to showcase that, but more or less people are here for the Marvel and the DC stuff more than anything else. Let's continue to walk the floor and see what else we can find around these parts. I have a friend who exhibits inside of here from time to time, but you have a few companies aside from the big comic book creators exhibiting stuff. You have some small-time local people who can obviously pay some money. I don't know how much that is, but they can rent a small booth and they can always set up. So I know a guy named Bill Hall who is a airbrush artist who usually sets up at most of, if not all of these Comic Cons, and he's always doing live character paintings of whoever pays him to do that here at the show. And hopefully he makes some good money from that and gets some good exposure from it. But if he does it year after year, from what I could tell, obviously he's doing quite good, so I see no reason for him to stop that, and I guess he doesn't either. And so he continues to come back for the most part to see everything and to take advantage of that. We got some Stranger Things merchandise. And it's quite a lot. Not that I'm a big fan. All kinds of little novelty stuff. Trinkets and whatnot. A bunch of keychains, coffee mugs. It looks like trading cards. More keychains, stickers, lunch boxes, bags, more keychains galore. You got t-shirts inside of there, jackets, hoodies, sweatshirts, Raglan t-shirts. Wow, okay, so good stuff for a good price, but just, I'm not really interested in most of this stuff. But just to let you know, this is the kind of stuff that you would expect to see here. Now, the things that I look forward to the most, which I don't even think we're inside the vicinity of that right now. This is like old used t-shirts, Titanic, the movie, the Laughing Joke t-shirt, Star Wars Episode 1 t-shirt. You got Death Note, The Simpsons, Uncle Fester. You got Mickey Mouse, Jaws. So all kinds of pop culture reference t-shirts, but used, of course. All right, before I get distracted, the things that I'm looking forward to the most is I noticed that DC might commission a Japanese artist to do like some very big posters inside of here and things. They could be drawn, it could be painted, maybe using a fude pen or something like that. And it's always great looking at that art. I mean, it's really something to take in. And I don't know where these art pieces go after the show ends, and I don't know who gets to keep them. Maybe the artist takes it back with them after the show ends, and they sell it on the internet. Who knows where this stuff goes, but yeah, I really like looking at that. Man, this is amazing right here. Got all these Godzilla monsters here in statue form. The other things I like looking at is the statues and the figurines and stuff. I'm talking about the really expensive stuff, not the kind of stuff that we're just gonna buy and go home with as like a simple souvenir. Like, you know, you really have to think about spending $500 to $1,000 on these type of figures. But I like looking at the ones that cost too much and are too rich for my blood. Man, this is just Godzilla galore. Look, you got all these books and magazines here. And you got more figures and statues over here. Looks like Ginza. I don't know where the hell this is supposed to be, but that definitely looks like the Waco building there where I bought my Grand Seiko. Yeah, it is. But Ginza way back in the day, and he's just done destroyed it. Now this is probably the biggest one right here. A few recognizable places there. Well, we just got Godzilla stuff all over the place. I'm glad they're giving the Japanese their fair shake of showing off all their pop culture. I'm glad that this is included inside the show because, you know, if this was in anywhere America, who knows how much of this stuff we would be able to see. It might be just a limited amount, but because we're here, you know, we get to see a lot more of this stuff. And I think it's quite cool. Man, look at this. Now we got Bandai Namco statues of Godzilla and monsters and other villains and stuff. All right, so we got Warner Brothers Discovery here, who during the filming of this video have now become Netflix, or at least they will be inside the future, just recently announced. And obviously that's not going to be up there on the signage because this has already been erected even before this has taken place, before the sale has taken place. So still at the time it's Warner Brothers Discovery. And we got inside of here. It's difficult to see with all the heads passing by. It says Warner Brothers Studio Tokyo, the making of Harry Potter, is taking place inside of there, and it looks like a big line to get in. Don't even know how to get inside of there and walk around, but guess we won't be seeing that. That could be right here. But we have some other cool things to look at inside of here. We got an old 60s Batmobile. Let's take a look. We got Batman. That looks like, what is that? Frank Miller's The Dark Knight over there inside of that. The recent James Gunn Superman movie, and a whole lot of posters and little toys and figures, coffee mugs from that inside of there. I hope that even shows up on camera because I'm so far away from this stuff. We got a gizmo inside of here, and we got some other stuff. And it looks like a whole lot of Warner Brothers shopping inside of there. We might have to set foot inside of this line so that we could see all the Warner Brothers stuff that is the merchandise. We want to see that. So I guess we need to get inside of there. So just a few minutes ago when I was telling you guys that DC commissions these artists to do these live drawings, this is exactly the kind of stuff that I was talking about. So this is the DC booth, the live drawing from Aki Bright. This is the finished piece right here, and this is of Supergirl. Look at this. Look at how amazing this is. Has multiple panels inside of here, black and white behind her, but she is in full color. Oh man, check this out. Even on the floor right here. And it says right here, Tokyo Comic Con 2025, we are DC family. And it says, thank you, Aki Bright. So, this is the stuff that I come to see, man. I really like this stuff. I gotta be honest with you, wasn't as good as Dick Donner's Superman movies, which I give him credit for 1 and 2. But I really like James Gunn's Superman. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm highly looking forward to Supergirl, which is coming out next year. We got the nice banner here in full size, bigger than full size. She's bigger than me. Still nice to see. And they're giving up quite the promotion for this. Behind us, we got Lego Batman. The Batwing, Batmobile, all kinds of cars. Of course, they have some flyers for you to take, but I'm not going to take any of this stuff. This one is for Harry Potter and what we've been looking at back there. And this one is for the 1966 Batmobile, a 1/8 scale. I guess this is a figurine that's on sale here, yeah. But not interested in that, just showing it to you guys. All kinds of Superman stuff here. We got the S. We got James Gunn Superman here with Crypto in tow. And we got Robert Pattinson's Batman. Along with the logo. A little frame for your Instagram for Harry Potter there. We got some nice poster exhibits. If I could just get us out of here and get a gander at this, it's just too many people in the way. And we got the Dark Knight Returns here with a smaller print, listed number 8 of 99. We got more Jim Lee stuff here. Jim Lee's Batman. And of course, his Dark Knight t-shirt. I was looking at that picture earlier and I think I accidentally credited Frank Miller. No, that's Jim Lee's. And here goes Jim Lee's Superman. And of course, we got the Justice League here. These are the DC items available, and they do let you know what has been sold out. This is all Superman stuff here. They got these plush toys inside of there that you can get from the movie. And of course, you got the little crypto that's sold out. Obviously, that would be the most popular one. 2,000 yen for that. Even got a little Superman card holder and or wallet, whatever you want to consider that. All of these keychains, crypto keychain, some pictures, stickers, coffee mugs, posters, hats, hoodies, and t-shirts. Then we got DC, Batman, Superman stuff right here, prints that you can buy. And of course, both of the Jim Lee Batman t-shirts are sold out there. Miniature size Batmobiles. You got these Batman bricks. Joker sweaters for 16,000 yen. I consider that highly pricey. Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts stuff. This seems to be the most popular as they have the most items that have been sold out. Lord of the Rings. Horror movies. Jason, Freddy Krueger. It, you name it. It's all there. Gremlins, Tom and Jerry. You got the Powerpuff Girls and Looney Tunes. All right, what I'm getting ready to show you guys now is the history of Comic-Con inside of Japan in general, not just Tokyo, but now this has found its way, it has reached its way over to Osaka. And it has been big both in Tokyo and Osaka ever since its initial year in 2016, I believe it is. Every year they have these giant picture frames, and all the celebrities that come always has a picture inside of this frame, and they all signed somewhere on the frame. So I'm getting ready to show this thing to you now. And they collect one of these things every single year that's been signed by everybody. Of course, it's framed, and it just kind of gives you the history of the Tokyo Comic Con, I guess Japan Comic Cons now, at a glance just by looking at it. So we're going to work our way up to that real quick. Let's just flip this camera around. These are just some promotional artwork pieces, if I can get my words out cleanly. What is this? It says main visual contest. Okay. All of them are nice. I like them all. I like them all. So let's get over here to what I was just explaining to you guys about. So you guys can see the frame piece right here. And this is the initial year. We got Stan Lee, Billy Boyd, Daniel Logan, Matthew Lewis, Ryoma Takeuchi, Lance Henriksen, and Jeremy Renner inside of here, and they've all signed around there. I believe Stan Lee had came to two of these. He had came to the initial one, and I think he came to the one in 2017, and then he died, and that sucks. But look at that, you got all those signatures inside of there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 2017 one. Mads Mikkelsen is up there inside the top left corner. I met that guy, Michael Rooker, Karen Fukuhara, Stan Lee. Like I said, he came back again. Then he ended up dying. Ryoma Takeuchi, Nathan Fillion. Hey, I know that guy. Steve Wozniak, Carl Urban. Yep, was definitely here for this. Did not get the chance to meet Stan Lee at that one, unfortunately. And then he died. Here goes the 2018 version of all of this. Ezra Miller, I'm surprised he even made it here at all, being as much of a loose cannon that guy is, but he was here. All right, we got some Phelps there, some Phelps brothers. I like that they give a lot of the Japanese celebrities a shake. Got Matsumoto and Nakagawa there. Peter Weller, RoboCop. I'd give anything to meet that guy. He's one of my absolute favorites. Jeremy Renner's kind of a mainstay here. He's been here like 3, 4, 5 times. And you got Tom Hiddleston. And again, there goes all the signatures that are there. There goes the 2019 version. Mark Ruffalo, top left corner. Chris Hemsworth, Rupert Grint, Ian Somerhalder, Misato Ugaki, Jude Law, Asano, Zachary Levi, and Orlando Bloom. And again, there goes all the signatures for the 2019 version. For some years, 2020, 2021 was canceled because of the COVID years, so they did not have a Comic-Con, but this is when it came back, 2022. Joseph Gwynn, Anthony Daniels, Karen Gillan, Christopher Lloyd, he's been here a few times, Anthony Serkis, I was here for this one, Ian McDiarmid and Hayden Christensen. You could take a photo with both of those guys together, you know, tag teaming on the dark side there. Vernon Wells, James McAvoy, all right, Akira from Exile, the music group, and Jamie Campbell Bowers, all right. And there goes all the signatures there for 2022. So this was the first time that it was held in Osaka. Made its launch there. Grand initial appearance in 2023. And more or less, these are the people that are at the Tokyo Comic-Con, I believe, had just, you know, probably here one day and there another day. But yeah, we got some familiar faces because Mads Mikkelsen has been here quite a few times. Orlando Bloom has been here a few times. Michael Rooker has been here a few times. But we do have a whole lot of new faces on here. But this is who you could have met at the Osaka Comic-Con in 2023. Tokyo Comic-Con. Taking a look at this, we have obviously some of the people that was at the Osaka one. Like I said, Matt Mikkelsen was there. Who else was it? I think, is Orlando Bloom here? No, he's not. He's not. There was somebody else over there that's over here. But yeah, there we go. There we go. Benedict Cumberbatch, Christopher Lloyd, like I said, almost a mainstay. He's been here so many times. Tom Hiddleston, this is probably his second or third time here. Ewan McGregor, believe it might be his first time. Don't know, maybe he was back there somewhere, but I think it's his first time. And we got our Hawaiian brother Morrison up there. And there goes all the signatures for the Tokyo Comic-Con 2023. Making it over to Osaka 2024. Daniel Logan again, who's always here. Joe Flanagan, Jason Momoa, Christopher Lloyd again, Tom Hiddleston again. Norman Reedus, might be his first appearance. Peter Weller, making his second appearance. Morrison, our Hawaiian brother, just jumped ship. Mads Mikkelsen again for like the fourth or fifth time. All right. There goes all the signatures. Tokyo Comic-Con 2024. More or less the same people that was at the Osaka one. Mads Mikkelsen again. Jason Momoa again. Christopher Lloyd again. Cebulski again. This guy's been at like, he's been at like 5 or 6 of them in a row. John Boyega makes his first appearance here. Daniel Logan's been here too many times to count. Jude Law's been here multiple times. And there goes all the signatures for 2024. And finally, we have the Osaka Comic-Con for 2025. There goes all the signatures first. Bill Skarsgård up there. This guy, I don't even know who the hell he is. Got Nicolas Cage, Emily Rudd, Mads Mikkelsen again, Edward Furlong, Christina Ricci, Daniel Logan again for like the 7th or 8th time. Sung Kang makes his appearance. Actually, Soon Kang, he comes to Japan quite often for Tyrese's and his auto car show called the Fuel Fest, which usually takes place at the Fuji Speedway in Shizuoka Prefecture. I imagine maybe this Comic-Con may or may not have been taking place right around the same time as Fuel Fest, so maybe that's why Soon Kang is here, or maybe he just came here independent of that. But because of those Fast and the Furious movies, he's become quite a bit of a mainstay and a popular face here inside of Japan. Let me just stop rambling. You got all the signatures there, and obviously they have not made the frame for the Tokyo Comic-Con 2025 yet, because we're living in it right now at the moment. So we come back to this thing next year and we'll have all of next year's guests, and they would have signed it. And the big name that all Japanese people will know that's going to be on that is going to be Johnny freaking Depp. Always good seeing that. This stage right here, just try to hold this up. This is going to get packed at the end of the day. All the celebrities make their appearance on that stage, usually at the end, and they always give some goodbye speech or some thank you speech or whatnot. And this year is going to be no different, usually like clockwork. It'll be good to see all the famous heads appear up there. I expect Johnny Depp to give a few words. You know, he's having an exhibition in Tokyo right now, an art exhibition with all of his sketches and paintings and stuff. And the name of his exhibition is called The Bunch of Stuff. Now, he started that about a week ago, and he's been hanging out inside of Tokyo for a week. And I imagine him being here at the Comic-Con is going to be his last day in Tokyo. Maybe he'll go back stateside tomorrow, but yeah, this is his last big appearance after spending what seems to be a whole 7 days inside of Japan. Across from us, we got Topps. You guys know them. They make all the playing cards. Who knows what we could see inside of there? Maybe just a bunch of playing cards, I don't know. See if we can go inside of there and take a look. Oh, collectible cards. Man, what is that? A pack of this? 28,000 yen? That's expensive. Topps Chrome cards. Hot Toys across the way, which is something completely different from this. Get your photo taken at the booth there. 25 years of Hot Toys. This is the 25th anniversary. Let's take a look at all this cool shit here. This is all the DC figures. Heath Ledger's Joker. Got John Cena as the Peacemaker. That's our baby doll there. The new Superman. Michael Keaton's Batman, but this time in the blue and gray costume from the comic books. That's pretty freaking cool. Then we have his original costume, and here he is. It looks like he's fighting his way up the cathedral. Yep, this is back where he's fighting the Joker outside. We got the Dark Knight Returns in the back there. Azrael, the guy that fought Bane after Batman got his back broken and lost to Bane. XE suit Batman, aka Hellbat. Of course, we got Nightwing there. And we got our boy inside the back there with the Christopher Nolan Batman costume just right there inside of the armory. That is freaking cool. with all of his toys and guns and weapons back there. That's everything. That is so freaking cool. All right, just getting in where I can fit in, because so many people always want to go where I have my camera pointed. At the same time that I point my camera there, everybody's just kind of gathering around. This is all Squid Game stuff here. And we got a lot of little chibi size Stranger Things figures in all different shapes and sizes and outfits, looking all cool down here. These could be had for, it looks like 2,000 yen a piece. And we even got a plush monster from the Upside Down inside of there. The Demigorgon. Look at that freaking thing. It's pretty cute. And we got Wednesday, but we got no Uncle Fester. I'm just joking. Thing, magnetic replica. Even got her clothes inside of there. All right, we got more movies and video game characters. We got John Wick and the ballerina back there. Death Stranding 2. Norman Reedus, also for Death Stranding 2 right here, as Bridges. The Last of Us Joel Miller. But this is the TV version with Pedro Pascal. And then we have The Killing Joke back there. I hope that shows up on camera. I really want you guys to see that. That's pretty cool. 45,000 yen for that Joker. This last window is one of the coolest ones yet. We got Daniel Craig's James Bond here. We got Daniel Craig's James Bond in the back. Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator 2 in the back. RoboCop 2, aka Robo-Kane, is right there. He's so freaking huge. This one costs 85,000 yen. It looks like it says this die cast is not going to be out. He's 1/6 scale. It's not going to be out until, looks like 2026. Look at the size of that thing. That Robo-Kane is really cool. And of course, wherever you have Robo-Kane, you have RoboCop inside of his RoboCop 2 armor. Price of him, Peter Weller's RoboCop 2, 52,000 yen. We got the boy from Predator Badlands and Big Chap, Alien Xenomorph. Then we got the Predator from Prey back there that you guys can see, and then we have another Predator that says Broken Tusk. And we have another Terminator, an endoskeleton back there. I hope you guys can see him clearly. But yeah, those two RoboCop 2 figures are probably the highlights for me. Those things are so freaking cool. These are little miniature figures called Marvel pocket covers. So you have this miniature figure of Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, Wolverine, whatnot. And behind them, they have an iconic comic book cover behind them. And it's cool. This is something that if you bought it, you probably wouldn't ever open it. Well, at least I'd recommend you not open it. If you was like a small kid that was like 5 to 10 years old, this is going to be ripped out of the package in no time, thrown about on the floor and mixed in with all your other action figures. These things are called Marvel Cosb, C-S-O-B. These are little chibi size Marvel figures of Deadpool, Wolverine, all the X-Men, Spider-Man, everybody's inside of there. Black Falcon. He's cool. All right. More figures from this world. John Bernthal's Punisher. Got a whole bunch of Spider-Man inside of here. Spider-Man 2099. Miles Morales back there. Black suit Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Got Venom back there. Lady Pool. Kid Pool. Deadpool. Prototype Galactus, look at the size of this thing. Everything else pales in comparison to the size of him. We got a Dr. Doom back there. Don't know if that's Robert Downey Jr.'s one, but it is a Dr. Doom. Then you got the movie versions of the Fantastic Four here. Oh, they got the Japanese Spider-Man inside of here. A lot of my real ones. I'm talking about the old school people. You guys are definitely gonna know who he is. I know you've seen that before. At least if it was on YouTube, anywhere else, you probably would have seen it. The Japanese Spider-Man. Now we're just looking at a bunch of Marvel figures, man. The DC figures from other brands, a lot of those blow these things out of the water. And hopefully we're gonna come upon them sooner or later. Tron Ares back there, I've yet to see that movie. I've seen the first two. Still looking forward to watching this. And I guess if I can remember it while it's on the tip of my tongue and on the top of my mind when I go home tonight, that might be a good watch for tonight. Stitch all over the place. And little Disney characters. Man, it's taken me quite a long time to make it through all of this. All of this Disney stuff. Now we're at the freaking Star Wars booth. After we done made it through all the Marvel stuff there. But we can take a look at all of these high quality Star Wars figures. We got Cody there. No, that's Commander Wolf. From the Clone Wars, Hayden Christensen, Samuel L. Jackson in the background there. Got Ian back there as Emperor Palpatine. We got our boy here, Obi-Wan. Vader breaking free. I think that's from episode 3. See 3PO back there, Han Solo. Chewbacca. Luke looking like a boss inside of Vader's attire. Darth Revan back there. Princess Leia and R2-D2 with all of his things sticking out. That Darth Vader Luke probably has to be the coolest one out of the bunch, and obviously he's going to be sold out. Now you got all these cute little chibi figure Star Wars here, ranging from 2,500 all the way to 3,500 Japanese yen, which isn't too bad, but still pricey for what it is and the size and for what you're getting. We got Boba Fett inside of the Slave One with his starship, and then we got Darth Vader inside of his special fighter. Moff Gideon and the Dark Trooper. So we got some Mandalorian figures here. Artists from Hong Kong exhibiting inside of Tokyo.
Actually my face, if you can see.
Yes.
Like in my nose and my mouth and things like that.
Yes.
So what is this about? You can see some rocks and some Japanese torii.
Yes.
Which symbolize like peaceful and calm, those positive meaning.
Yes.
But in the same time, you can see some small human figures in the, all around these. They are just sitting down alone, and some is really hurry and like late to work, something like that.
Right.
And even I even put myself somewhere here, like I covered my face, and also down here also is me.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like hanging. So these are some of like stress and those negative side.
Okay.
This piece is called I Am Fine, because I want to tell people that sometimes when they are socializing with people, you will just see their happy side.
Yes.
But they might actually have the small emotions that are stressful, but they are just hidden in in their happy side.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is my piece.
All right. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
So this is my second piece. So this is about, so I am a Hong Kong student,
Yes.
and in Hong Kong there is a drug called etomidate, which
Okay.
causes hallucination. So you'll see something that is fake and is not real. So because I didn't try the drug, so I don't know.
You don't know what the actual feeling is like. Yes.
But I did some research, and also with my interpretation, I use a metaphor as monsters. And so when you consume the drug, you actually will see monster trying to attack you, like crawling all over you, and then you see hands, and
Yes.
the buildings are starting to reshape. I based on some buildings in Hong Kong for reference for this. And what's fun about these pieces and one of my other pieces is that you can play with the angle of it.
Yes.
It actually works in all of the angles.
You can frame it in 4 different ways.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can see some scary face in all of the angles. Some mouth, some eyes, and this one is actually a Hong Kong traffic lights. But I
Okay.
twirled it and it become another monster. So this is my second piece.
Okay. And how can people find you? Do you have an Instagram?
Yes, I have an Instagram and feeds. So my name is Rio Phone.
Okay.
Rio
Wait just a
Phone.
moment.
Sure, Rio Phone with
Got
2
it.
underscore.
Yes.
And hope so. I'll post some art process regularly, and if you can follow, thank you. So let me share my second piece that can rotate, which I also like really much. So have you heard of Pompeii?
Yes.
About the volcano eruption?
Yes.
So I also use monster metaphor as the lava, and the lava monster is trying to evade the whole space. And while they are trying to go in, the people figure they are trying to escape. But as they escape, you realize that when they are trying to escape, they couldn't escape because in all dimension, people is trying to escape, but it's just a cycle. And
Yes.
there will be monster everywhere. Although they're trying to run away, this is maybe a people standing here and they might need help. And if you turn it back
Right.
to this, it's already like
It's
lying
so
down.
this one is actually similar to this. You can frame this
Yeah,
for
you can-
4 different
Yeah.
directions.
And this one is more fun because its name is called Multi-Gravity times Pompeii.
Okay.
And not just like this where this one is more messy, but this one is more clean and fine, and
Yes.
you can see the multi-gravity and the difference. For example, in this is actually like standing,
Yes.
but in this position it's already lying down, and he got his friends maybe trying to help him,
Yes.
and in more dimensions you'll see more and more details with the lava monsters and things
It's a
like that.
very basic and generic question, but how long does it take you to do a piece like this?
A piece like this with pyro and just black and white, I think within 10 hours maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this looks more complex.
Yeah.
Would this one have taken you about 10 hours as well, or a lot longer than that?
This one requires painting and
Yes.
also some more color pencil details.
Yes.
And for me, I am struggling with like those color and
Yes.
things. So I believe the viral part is easier as
Yes.
this one is related to drug and thing can be getting more messy and
Yes.
or more organic. So it's 2 different approach. That one's
2 different
more,
approaches, okay.
More fine. And
Yes.
This one after the fine movement, I actually put one more layer.
Well, this one sounds like it took a lot more effort to make. This is a more difficult piece to draw?
There is like different challenges for.
Yes.
Because for this piece, the challenge part is how you create the tension of like in the direction.
Yes.
So you have to think about.
You have to think about it before you do it.
Also think about the contrasting colors of one with colors and one with black and whites. And for the other one, this one I actually was inspired by a artist called MC Esther. He is doing some illusion art.
Yes.
Also, and this composition was inspired by him. And although I have the inspiration, when I was looking at it, I was also confused about how the people should go.
Yes.
So I also have to think about it and make drafts before putting in the biro, because you can't change it back. So
before you do something like this, would you sketch it out on like a piece of paper first to make sure that it's going to be correct?
Yeah. So for this is a metallic copy.
Yes.
And for the real piece, it's actually even smaller.
Okay.
And I used pencil to draft the scales and the placement of the object before putting in the biro.
Yes.
And yeah, but some of the parts actually, for example, these like wormy-like substance, I actually didn't thought about it when I'm drafting. It's just that when I was doing the biro part, I want to make them more organic rather than just really formal shapes, just like that. Like MC Esther's one is really clean, but this one is more organic shaped, and it's just different approaches.
Okay, I got it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. You want to follow
my artwork?
Sure.
So all of these artwork stamps. So as you can see,
From stamps, yeah, I see.
Yeah, I made some stamps of replace, and I make my own portrait. This is my Instagram, by the way.
Okay.
And I'm mainly a oil painter.
Yes.
So for this work is explaining how when we look, even though we look fine and calm outside,
On the outside, yes.
but we have a lot of stress or something, some negative things that we want to express it out, but we just hide it inside of us. But when we have reached our limit, which we gain earning more and more stress,
yes,
and it will explode like inside out of us. And this one is explaining the chase of perfection. Because, by the way, as you see, most of my arts are my self-portraits.
yes,
Because I want to show my own personal experience of my life, and I want to tell my own story, the thing that I think it will be right for.
Yes.
Yeah. So for this, is, as I said, is the chase of perfection, and this is the roses represent the perfect, but as you know, roses can hurt.
yeah. If you touch the thorn, yes,
So this shows nothing is perfect in this world. Even though a rose is just as beautiful, but it will still hurt you.
I
And
agree.
we will never be chasing the perfection.
Yes,
Even though you might think you are best at everything, but still there will always be something that you lack of.
yes,
So I think the fact that nothing is perfect, like perfection is not exist, this fact is the perfect fact. Yes.
understood.
Because so that everyone can be unique and different. Because if everyone is perfect, then what's special about every one of us?
Yes,
Oh yeah, so this is my CV, which I got the highest score in the world for my IGCSE work.
nice.
And this one represents different emotions, which different color represents the people that told us what to do and what we feel about it. So I use different color to represent those emotions, which from this we formed that our heart from different opinions from others,
Yes.
and formed that our heart to decide our choice, to make our own decisions.
Okay. Is this your piece as well?
Yes, this is my first attempt at a practice of this fine artwork. Because in IGCSE,
Yes.
we have a 10-hour exam, and this is before the real 10-hour exam. I make a practice, but I didn't manage to finish the lower parts.
Yes.
So, but in the exam, I managed to finish the whole artwork in only
Yes.
8 hours, as I already know all the colors, all the proportions better. So I just work it on very fast. So,
Understood. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
for that one, as you see, you might think it's from two different person's hands, but because mostly we think that the thing that is dragging us or holding us down is other people, but actually the only thing that is holding us back is
ourself. Yes.
And both my hand is getting hanged by some strings, and those strings represents all the reasons that we give ourselves to not push or not to achieve something that we want to. Those strings could be your laziness, your
Yes.
stress or pressure that you give yourself. So this proves nothing is actually holding us down. The only thing that will hold us down is ourselves. If you want to achieve something, then it will be possible. If you only don't give any reasons for yourself to hold it back.
Understood. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So we draw. We start drawing some products, and then we sell them. You have Instagram?
All right, I'm reading this Romaji up there, and I'm going to try not to mess this up. Mame Gyorai. And look at all these different t-shirts that they have up here. Mostly what am I looking at here? It looks like some movie characters, Star Wars, DC, Marvel, you know, the generic stuff. I even see a For Your Eyes Only t-shirt inside of there at the bottom next to the Amazing Spider-Man. Pretty cool stuff. Buy one t-shirt for 5,500 yen. Buy two or more, 5,000 yen each. The price is pretty reasonable. I have enough t-shirts as it is, but if you're looking for something, I'm sure that you're easily going to find something inside of here that you're going to love. And these are official Star Wars Lucasfilm t-shirts, as I'm sure some of these other ones are authentic as well. We got the Batman logo inside of there. This is an old school penguin from the comic books. We got Gizmo from the Gremlins. Just all kinds of cool stuff inside of here. But this, what you're looking at up there, this is a sample of all the shirts that are inside of this store right now. Got a cool Death Star there. Now, I had missed it. There's quite a few stuff that I missed over here. There's a Marvel and a Star Wars booth. To actually get inside of there, I don't know how long it's actually going to take me. Do I want to wait in line for this or do I not? But let me just show you a quick glance at the lines to apparently get inside of this little shopping area here. You guys are going to be surprised at this if I can manage to flip this thing around. So you got all these people going around inside of a queue, left, right, left, right, left, right, all trying to get inside of there back to where you see those signs that say Marvel and Star Wars. Do I want to wait inside of this? Not sure. I'll come back to it just a little bit later, but we'll see what else we could find at the immediate moment to look at. This place right here is a little bit strange. It's called the Variegator. And you got some nice t-shirts of Marvel characters and DC characters inside of here. just to show you what they all look like. They come inside of these, it looks like boxes here that looks like VHS cassettes. Well, that's exactly what that box is supposed to be. And this one has Marvel written there. Quite a big box. I mean, a little bit bigger than a VHS cassette, but generally that's the aesthetic that they took with this. But there's a t-shirt inside of there. So let's go ahead and stick that back on the shelf. One t-shirt is 11,000 Japanese yen. These are the Marvel ones that you can get. We got Venom right here. We got the Venom logo there. Very grunge-like. All of these shirts have a very grunge aesthetic to it. It's black with like, it's just grunge. Captain America there. Iron Man. This one looks like a VHS cassette tape as well. You guys know that. If you come from America, you obviously know that that's supposed to be blockbuster video. Old Back to the Future baseball cap there. I'm not even sure if that's for sale. I don't know what the hell this is. It looks like a dog inside the Death Star. Oh, we got Biff. The Devil's Work is Never Done. John Bernthal's Punisher, but on Daredevil Born Again. And then we have an old school Punisher logo printed in Japan. That's what it says, these shirts. Printed in Japan by Variegator. That's everything listed there. That Back to the Future hat was for sale. Got all the Batman stuff from the Christopher Nolan Batman inside of here. Back to the Future stuff. Embossed license plate that says out of time. All of those letters are embossed on this shirt. That is freaking cool. October 26, 1985. Doc. And then they just decided to throw Batman inside of there for whatever reason. X-Men 97 cap. Let's go back over here real quick. Lorraine McFly. Back to the Future cap. Carnage. Sports Almanac, 1950 to the year 2000. Wow. There goes all the Christopher Nolan t-shirt prints right there. Got Bane, Batman, Catwoman, Joker, and Harvey Dent. And the Variegator logo. Getting ready to play his card. The Joker's gonna play his and Batman's gonna play his. This one was not listed up there, but it's here. The Why So Serious shirt. And this one is a full print. The last one that was unlisted up there just says Bat Signal, and it got the Bat Signal over Gotham City. Another DC showcase. We have Alex Sinclair here signing a bunch of Superman and Batman stuff. Ryan Benjamin, Louis Pistachio. Now, I'm not really expecting to see much of anybody back here, but we just crossed halls from one hall to the celebrity area. All of these guys, the so-called celebrities, well, they are celebrities, they're not so-called, they're inside of all of these different booths, but they're covered up by these borders and these frames inside of these cubicles, so you can't really see them. They might peek their head out every now and then, but you queue up inside of the lines, and then you go inside of there and you get a photograph with them and or an autograph, something like that. And you pay the price, you pay to play, get your photograph or your autograph, and then they shuffle you through. It's like that movie where they were, what is that Steven Spielberg movie with all the Nazis? And the guy was like, oh, if I could just only sell this ring. I'm at a loss of words right now. It's like that movie where all the Jews were getting funneled down inside the gas chamber and then they die, unfortunately. That's a lot like what this feels like, just getting shuffled through inside of there. You're in there for like all of 10 seconds. They snap a photo of you and then you're just done for. You're just gone. It leaves a lot to be desired, but they're all inside of there. Well, I'm glad I came over to this hall because it's not just the celebrities inside of this hall, but there's actually comic books inside of here. Those are the things that I'm always looking for when I'm here. You know what? Before I get out of here real quick, let's just take a quick look at everybody that's here. They don't want me taking any photographs, so you're just going to have to see my ugly mug for just a few, and I'm just going to read off all of the celebrities that they have inside of here at the immediate moment. So for the 2025 Tokyo Comic Con, we got Sebastian Stan, we got Carl Urban, we got Jack Quaid, John Bernthal, Ivana Lynch, Elijah Wood, Sean Austin, Christina Ricci, Tadanobu Asano, Koji Yamamoto, Pilo Asbike, Sean Patrick Flannery, Nicholas Holt. And we also got Christopher Lloyd, Tom Wilson, Lee Thompson, Claudia Wells. And I think that is everybody. Yeah. Now let me just flip this thing around real quick just to see if I could just at least show you the banners that are up there inside the Raptors. What the hell do they call that up there? That little area? But anyways, you can see up there. So you could feel their aura right now, but we don't really mean anything to them. But yeah, we could feel them, but they can't feel us. Let's see what kind of good comic books we can find and action figures. I don't actually think I said it. I didn't see his face up there, but I think Mads Mikkelsen is here as well. Obviously he is, because there is a box over here for him. These and Mr. Johnny Depp, whose picture is not up there. But there is a box for every single one of these celebrities inside of here, where fans could leave gifts for them inside of these boxes. Now, who knows how much of this shit that they're actually gonna take on the plane back home with them, if they're gonna take any of this or just give it to people inside of their entourage, because with how many people's leaving gifts, who knows if they're gonna be able to see all this. I mean, if it's up to me to give you some advice, just leave them like some Japanese chocolate bars or some shit like that, something that they can eat, wipe their mouth, say thank you very much, and then they can go about and be on their way and not have to carry a whole lot of stuff on them. But yeah, you can leave notes inside of here. Like, you know, I'm getting ready to leave a movie script right now for Mr. Nicholas Holt. That's a joke. I'm not leaving anything for anybody. And in fact, all of these people, they owe me shit right now. You know, I'm doing them the service of promoting this whole thing. Each one of these celebrities need to get over here, pull out one gift out of their box, give it to me, say thank you for your fan service, and then that's going to be the end of that. But yep, that's what it is. That's what it is. All right, I was telling you guys about this earlier. This is his a bunch of stuff exhibition, and I think it's held at 2 different venues. It started on November 28 and is lasting half a year until May 6th of next year. But, you know, pretty much today, if not tomorrow, I could feel is going to be Johnny Depp's last day. And then he's going to be getting out of here. Because he was here prior to the start of the exhibition. He had a launch party for it and everything. You know, the town came out to that. And he's here right now. Maybe we'll be seeing his face on the stage at the end of this whole shindig here. He might show up to his exhibition tomorrow. May not. I will be showing up there because I'm interested in seeing what he has, but then that's going to be the end of it. All right, there's a few other names of celebrities that I did not say inside of that whole when I was given that list. There's also Elijah Wood, Sean Austin, Carl Urban, Jack Quaid, Nicholas Hoult, John Bernthal, Sean Patrick Flannery. All right, am I repeating some of these people? I think I am. Johnny Depp, Mads Mikkelsen, Norman Reedus, and Sebastian Stan are all here at the immediate moments. Now, this is only the beginning, but if you could see all of these people that are queued up, sitting down and or standing, this is just one side to get inside of one of these photo booths. Maybe a second photo booth. I see Norman Reedus down there at photo booth number 2. He's sitting out here. So we get to at least see his face. Everybody else is back there inside of those cubicles. You can't see anybody except for Norman Reedus, who's out there right now. But like I said, all these people are queued up out here. This is just to get inside of photo booth 1 and 2. And these people are going all the way around the whole perimeter of this, trying to get inside of these booths just to meet these guys for just a few seconds. Unfortunately, that's all you get. They don't have enough time to sit down and chit-chat with anybody or make friends. You just get your photo and you get shuffled through. Have your photo taken inside of a miniature Aston Martin DB5. Not life-size, but, you know, it's big enough. Okay, as seen in Goldfinger and a few other James Bond movies. DB5 has made its appearance here at this Tokyo Comic Con many times, as have other James Bond vehicles, which I have not seen today, actually. It could be over here. We'll see. We will see. We got Pat Labor here. That's a classic animation movie. I'm actually enjoying today's Comic-Con quite a bit because it's not just a repeat of a lot of the same stuff that we've seen at previous years' Comic-Cons. It's actually, they got a whole lot of new stuff here. At least 50%, could be more. Could be more. They're over here handing me flyers about trying to get me to buy a gaming PC and stuff. Come on, man, I don't need this stuff. I'm making a video right now. Don't interrupt the video. But yeah, at least 50% of the stuff that I'm seeing, or believe I'm seeing, I believe to be new, the number could be as high as 75%. There's a whole lot of vehicles from Terminator 2, Batman movies, James Bond movies that have made their appearances here in previous years, and I do have the photos of them and the videos of those from other years, but I'm not seeing them here today. A lot of the booths that I'm going to, the figurines, the statues, all of these things are new. It's not like last year's model of such and such toy, and they showed it last year and they're showing it again now. You know, it's all new stuff, and I really appreciate that. Because I was starting to feel some fatigue coming to the Comic-Con, because I said I've been here like, what, 5 or 6 times already, and this is time number 6 or 7, I don't know. But you do start to feel some fatigue just seeing the same stuff over and over again. So to finally have something new it's quite refreshing. I mean, to see things 2 times in a row, okay, 3 times is a bit of a stretch. 4 times is like, okay, this doesn't need to be here anymore. So that's what that is. And we have this gigantic thing here, Back to the Future 40th anniversary. I didn't see that clock on there at first, so when I first entered the facility and I seen all these Back to the Future advertisements, I thought it was saying Back to the Future 4, like in like a part 4. Like, what is that? Like, you know, the main 2 guys, obviously they're not coming back for something like that. What is that going to be? What is it? What is a Back to the Future 4? Now I clearly see that's an O, Back to the Future 40th. And I'm sure on the other side of this, there's probably all kinds of merchandise inside of there, like t-shirts and toys and stuff. I would actually like to take a look. Okay, I spoke too soon. This car is a little bit recycled. I seen this car at like the last 4 or 5 shows, but you know, what the hell. You give this one a pass because it's already the 40th anniversary, so it kind of has a place here. This time you get to actually sit inside the car and take a photo, which they did not allow you to do last time, I believe. You could just kind of look at it behind these little, you know, roped off gates there. You could take a picture of it from afar, but you couldn't actually touch the vehicle or sit inside of it. But this time you actually get to sit in there and they'll photograph you inside of the car. By the looks of it, it looks like he had to buy something in order to do this. It's not like just anybody gets to go inside of there and take the photo. So that guy has a receipt, lady behind her has a receipt, and that guy has a receipt. So I see what it is. It's not for everybody. I mean, I guess that's a cool way to keep the car from getting overcrowded with just random people just fighting to get a seat inside of there and get a photo. Only leave it up to the people that paid. And we got more t-shirts here, classic retro t-shirts, but you know, at this point in time, I think we've seen enough of this stuff already. The things I did not see are a lot of the DC figurines. We had Marvel figures of all sorts, but there's been some other years where it's been very DC heavy with some nice statues and what do you call those really expensive statues, man? Bust, DC bust and stuff like that, but I'm not seeing them this year. All right, so I'm getting ready to leave the celebrity room now. The other thing that I haven't seen, there have been in previous years, I don't know if it was in this room or in another room, but there have been actual comic book vendors, people with these giant cardboard boxes and many of them all spread out on the table, and you go thumbing through them and you could buy some really nice comic books inside of there, and I don't see any of that this time around. So what gives? Oh, speaking of the bust, the DC bust, here goes some giant Batmans. This is amazing. Let's take a look at this. This is called the Ultimate Premium Master Line. 264,000 Japanese yen, which probably converts to something like, let's say this is roughly about 2,200 US dollars, around there. This is The Dark Knight Returns. We got a dead Joker there. Yeah, this studio, by the one, Prime One Studio, they make the most fantastic shit. This is the most expensive stuff. Obviously, they do not want you touching none of this stuff, because if you break it, you buy it. So this Dark Knight right here is 177,000 Japanese yen. We got Robert Pattinson, 220,000 Japanese yen. This is probably like 100. This is probably like $1,900 US. From the latest iteration of Batman on screen, the Batman Got a Poison Ivy here. She's quite expensive. Looking luscious, luxurious, sensuous. We got Bridge, Norman Reedus here. We ought to just pull that guy. He's here right now. We ought to just pull that guy over here, get him to come sign this thing, and then we walk away with it. What do you say about that? What do you think of that idea? 316,000 Japanese yen. So this is probably in the ballpark of $2,700 US for that Bridges from Death Stranding. Got another Batman here. This is the same Robert Pattinson Batman that was over there on the other side. Then we got two Batman, The Dark Knight Returns here. One has his teeth out, gritting with a sniper rifle, batarangs, and the other one has a rope in his hand. Very similar to one another. And we got another Dark Knight Batman here, I guess signed by the sculptor. I don't know whose name is on that, but somebody had signed his chest. I imagine the sculptor of that. But ain't that a beautiful piece there? So I was afraid that I wasn't going to see anything like this in today's show, and sure enough, we found some. But there's even a lot more than this that I'm still looking for. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of these pictures here that are hanging up on the wall. We got a Batman picture here from Jim Lee, Ryan Benjamin, Alex Sinclair. About 40,000 Japanese yen. That's probably like 300 bucks. We got another Jim Lee. It looks like he signed that. Yeah, I think this is a reprinting. This is, yeah, that's not his, I can't tell if that's his actual signature or not, or if this is reprinting. You think for this price of 33,000 yen, this might be an original? Alex Ross, 173,000 Japanese yen, so that's about $1,500 US. This is number 14 of 15. Is this just a reprint or is this the real thing? Looking at these signatures and you just can't tell. You just can't tell, man. I think these are, oh, this is a famous comic book right there. That's a reprinting of that. That's, this is nothing that he did original. Another Alex Ross, Superman Immortal. 212,000 Japanese yen, roughly $1,900 US. You know, I'm trying to do these price conversions inside of my head. They're approximate, not exact. Captain America Triumphant, 212,000 Japanese yen, about $1,900. And we got some other stuff. Whoa, you could freaking buy a car for this. Fantastic Four times Gargoyles, issue number 1. 990,000 Japanese yen. This is probably like $8,000 for that. Rick Zilla from Rick and Morty. Okay, interesting.
That looks pretty good. Anyway. Thank you. It's returns basically. Give me 2 seconds. I will load that. All right, you can take over. Perfect.
All right, we got some different toys over here. I'm still inside of the celebrity section of this convention. You know, it's 2 halls, so I'm still inside the celebrity hall, and I'm getting ready to make my last stand over here and see what else I can find. I think I just about looked at everything. Got Marvel Legends John Bernthal Punisher over here for 7,800 yen from Daredevil Born Again. Got some Star Wars, some gizmos. Got some Back to the Future cars and stuff, Superman statues. All right, I'm not seeing much of anything too enticing or exciting for me. I mean, it catches your eye when you see it at a glance, but when you get up close to it, some of this stuff is not worth its salt. Got a solo Star Wars story, like plastic cup here. It looks like something you would have got from the movie theaters at McDonald's. You got Baby Yoda, freaking Grogu paper plates there, coffee mugs. You know, this is not anything that really gets me excited over much of anything. Man, if they just had those comic books, I wanted the comic books, but that's a no. See what I'm saying? Old Star Wars, The Power of the Force figures. Oh, they always have some Spawn figures here. I like looking at these. I'm always looking for an original Spawn figure from series number 1, the series number 1 Spawn, but not the one with the meatball head, the one that actually has his mask on, because I used to own that as a kid. I remember buying it. Look, they got the trimmer down there. I had that original Spawn from series number 1. I bought that toy back in 1994, opened it up out of the box, destroyed it, and that's all she wrote. But I would like to rebuy that, but leave it inside of the package. That way I can for sure not be able to get it destroyed. Well, they got all kinds of different Spawn figures here, but not the ones that I'm looking for. They got a lot of Fast and the Furious cars here for the collectors of this, and some Jurassic Park stuff. That's pretty cool. Got the Marshmallow Man play set. And he comes in at a good price too, just 5,000 Japanese yen. Nothing that's gonna break the bank. More t-shirts from True Romance. We got Jack Nicholson's Joker back there on a t-shirt. We might be holding the wrong Batman on a card there. So whoever has that shirt has some explaining to do. Oh, we got some CGC, Universal Graded comic books here. Now this is cool. I wish I could find a Spawn number 1. If I could do that, I would be a very happy man. And these things having a sale. I'm gonna thumb through here real quick and see what I can find, if I could find anything good, and I'll let you guys know if I do. Right, so this is one that I have right here. Obviously mine is not a CGC Universal Graded comic, but I have all 4 of these inside of this limited series of The Punisher. And I guess, is this the one that was called The Punisher magazine back in the day, back in the 80s? But anyways, this limited series came out right before the actual 80s Punisher series did. You know, this launched first, and then after this came the 1980s Punisher series. But this one is graded at 9.4 in 30,000 Japanese yen, which is roughly, I don't know, give or take about $250 US, but it's nice to see this here. You guys are not going to be able to see this because the glare. Batman Dark Knight Returns number 1, graded 9.4, 100,000 Japanese yen. It's roughly like maybe $875 US for that Frank Miller classic right there. What year was this? Approximately 1994? I don't remember. This is Spider-Man, the animated series, the Peter Parker action figure with camera accessory. 2,600 Japanese yen. Very affordable price for what this is from the time period that it's from, still inside the wrap. And we got other figures from that series in here as well. We got Spider-Man 2099, we got the Black Cat, Tombstone over here. All of these guys still wrapped up. Regular Spider-Man, web gliding Spider-Man. I remember seeing the freaking commercials for some of these guys. I had this guy right here, this one. And yeah, anyways, the swinging Spider-Man, I had him. Classic Star Wars Kenner figures here. We got the Royal Guard, Emperor Palpatine there, 16,000 yen. We got another Emperor Palpatine, 44,000 yen. He comes with a coin. This one is from Mexico, maybe, I don't know. I can't even read that. El Retornador del Jedi. And it's in French, man. I can't even pronounce half of that stuff up there. That's crazy. Right. I had some of these figures, man. I had this little guy right here. I don't remember his name. The little porky guy that was throwing around C-3PO's body. I had that Obi-Wan Kenobi action figure, but the original one from the 80s movies. Had that guy too. Yeah, a lot of these would be worth a lot more money if they were still inside of the plastic clip, because they've been open. You know, they're quite reasonable. I had him too. He's only 2,000 yen. That's probably like 15 bucks for that. That R2-D2 is like about maybe $45. And it's nice to see the classic Star Wars figures here. I mean, I showed you guys all the cool comic books, but going through the whole comic book stack and the whole, whatever just that one person had, it was just a little bit underwhelming for me. There were some cool things in there, give or take. There were some Blade #1s, but you know, those are quite late comic books to have came out, not like from the 70s or something like that. This was like well after the movie had, you know, turned Blade into a household name, and these are like, you know, around the millennium type of comic books. They're not really worth much of anything. They were CGC graded, but you know, they just weren't worth much of anything, even being #1 issues. And the problem with #1 issues from the 90s forward, so many of them have been printed that they're just not worth much of anything these days, you know? So yeah, it's really no need to collect those. The guys that are getting all the money is the guys that bought the comic books in like the 70s and prior to that, where things were not so abundant, or even if they were, a majority of them have gotten destroyed over time and ravaged over time. But if you could find one inside of a mint condition, then you truly are walking around with something rare, and you got something that's worth something. All right, let's go back inside the main room. I'm gonna see if I can hit up this Marvel Star Wars booth that has the official goods inside of there. This is the one that had that long line, that long queue to get inside. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get inside, but we're gonna try. All right, so I'm walking now around this rope, chain rope, to get myself inside of this goods shop for all the Marvel and Star Wars goods. I'm wondering if this is gonna be a big mistake, because flipping this thing around, you can see all these people queued up, and it's not just the people that are literally in front of me, but there's a line behind them and then a line behind them, and it just goes around and around. You walk down one way, right? You make it to the end, like so, and then you flip and you rotate around, and then you go back the other way, and you just keep doing it over and over. So hopefully I estimate I'll be inside of here within 10 minutes. If I can get inside of here in 10 minutes, that'll be good. If not, I'm just gonna see myself out of here. All right, so I finally made it inside of here. When I made it to the back of the line, working my way towards the front of the line, there was probably a few hundred people in front of me, and it was roughly about a 10 to 15 minute wait to get inside of here. Now that I'm in here, I mean, it's a big space. They're selling a lot of stuff, mostly clothing products. And I'm looking at it, I'm not really too excited about anything. I think I'm gonna walk through here. More or less, it's just gonna be to show you guys what it is that they have. But to say the least, nothing inside of this, you know, this part really interests me. But this is the very beginning, so let's take a look. First of all, we have all these Marvel Rivals stuff. We just have these different badges or pins that you just pin onto yourself with like a pin clip. Got some other stuff here. I don't know what this is. These are keychains inside of here. And it's very random. You're gonna buy something and I don't think you know what it is that you get, because I don't think there's 17 different designs inside of there. I don't know. I could be wrong. I think you buy it and you only get one. Who knows how many comes inside of there, but yeah, it's a random package. So you buy one, you could get one of 17 potential designs of all these Marvel Rivals. And the price that you're paying for this keychain, roughly about 14 bucks, maybe a little bit less than that, but I can't see myself doing it. I'm not too ecstatic about the Marvel Rivals. This is cool right here. We got Manhattan Portage bags. Manhattan Portage is a brand that is very popular inside of Japan. Mostly they sponsor a lot of the club events, the house music club events that I go to. But here they got a Spider-Man branded satchel bag. And I think that that is pretty cool. Not that I need it, but if I needed it, yeah, I probably would pick it up. Ooh, man, not at those prices, baby. 17,000 yen, which is probably about 150 bucks for what you're looking at right there. Size comparison versus my hand, that's how big that bag is. So you're not expecting a lot. So they had the Spider-Man one and they got the Captain America one. And aside from that, that's it. The Marvel Rivals stuff, that's mostly keychains and little trinkets and things like that. Not too excited about it. You got some clothing over here. Nothing that I'm really excited about. That's a cool Punisher design, but for me to wear on a t-shirt with that design and for it to say The Punisher, I'd rather just have a plain old skull. You know those guys, those are the Guardians of the Galaxy. You got a Moon Knight comic book t-shirt here. All right, so you got a few shirts inside of here that do look like comic books. We got Mysterio. Have that very retro 70s Marvel Comics look. Even this one right here, this one has the old school Marvel Comics logo on there. So looking at some of this kind of more ancient stuff, this looks like a 90s, early 90s Wolverine. Shang-Chi and the 10 Golden Rings. This is the movie version. This is the X-Men 97 version of Cyclops. Spider-Man Red, Spider-Man Black. Looks like an old 60s comic of the Fantastic Four. Maybe a little bit later than that. Artwork looks too pristine to be 60s. I would put this in the 70s. I don't know, Fantastic Four fans out there, correct me if I'm wrong. I could have my eras wrong. I mean, overall, some of this stuff is looking kind of cool. Just not cool enough for me to buy. I mean, I got about 100 t-shirts as it is. I'm not really hurting for any, to add any t-shirts to my wardrobe, but if I was, what would be the one that I get? This is a Infinity Stone sweater, and it says that this is a free size, which I don't believe. Looks like Adidas, but only it's Spider-Man. Deadpool stuff all over the place. Is this a wallet? I don't know what this is. Yeah, this is a coin bag and wallet. I think this is too wide to fit inside of my pocket. He's cool. I want you. I want you, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. He's nice. Price on him, 15,000 Japanese yen. He's about 12 bucks. Because he's cute. He's worth every bit of that much. Only I don't need any keychain holders, but if I did, you would be the one. Look at him. Look at that face, man. He's serious. Oh, they got the Spider-Man one. They got an Iron Man one as well. Spider-Man one is not as cute as that Captain America. Probably on account of that you can't really see his eyes like that. Then we got some squishy toys. Probably have to give this to my next door neighbor's dog, but with him chewing this up, I don't know. I can't see a dog chewing up 12 bucks of mine. It's pretty cool, but that Captain America was cool, man. I don't know. Maybe I come back for him. It's just, you know, I'm not sticking that thing on my keys. That thing is way too freaking big to stick in my pocket. I need my keychain to fit in the pocket, so. All right. Captain America Stitch. Something for the ladies there. Christmas sweaters, Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I'm still trying to look for something worthwhile. Aside from that Captain America, can't say that there's anything in here worthwhile. Oh man, except for him. Look at this Punisher. This is an 80 series Punisher bust. Quality is pretty good on him. He's not ceramic or anything. It's just very hard plastic. This is a Jim Lee Punisher Warzone. It's been marked down in price from 12,000 to 10,000 Japanese yen. And I have that comic book right there, the Punisher War Journal number 8 with the art cover by Jim Lee. If I knew that he was still over there, this would be the piece that I buy to bring over there to get him to sign this in the back there. That is cool, man. And Nick Klein Deadpool Volume 6. So these are different comic book covers here. This is Todd McFarlane Spider-Man number 1. Another Todd McFarlane, Marvel Tales Volume number 2, number 223. And this Venom sold out. But that Punisher, man, that would be the one. Not that I need him, but if I was going to get something, I'd pick him up. Jim Lee's X-Men. This is his Jim Lee inspired X-Men Volume number 2, number 1, the cover art. What the hell is this guy's name? Colossus, that's that guy's name. Look at him. And we got the cool Wolverine over here as well. miniature figures, but they're asking quite a steep price for these small things. I mean, look at that, he's no bigger than my index finger, and they want 20 bucks for that. I mean, come on guys, make it easier for me to spend my money. So you got all these plush things. You got Wolverine's hand over here. It's like a gigantic plush toy. You can stick your hand inside of there. Then you can start clawing up stuff. All right, that's pretty cool. Trying to take this off with one hand. Got Wolverine's mask from the movie, from the Deadpool movie inside of there. And as long as your head is not too big, you should be able to put that on your actual head. And they got a real life Spider-Man mask as well. All kinds of little miscellaneous stuff, but I don't see anything that's making me really want to part with my money. Looking around, guys, I mean, I'm really trying hard here. And all the hot toys that I showed you guys earlier, they have them for sale inside of here, and they're all packaged up down there. These things are quite expensive in price. Like this Black Widow, 63,000, that's probably 500 bucks. None of these are sold out. Oh, that's the Japanese version of the Spider-Man, the television Spider-Man. Yeah, so they got those different busts over there, or I don't know what you call them. Those are not necessarily busts. Those are more like figures, but non-posable. Wesley Snipes' blade. There'll only be one blade. Yep. Yeah, those busts are not sold out, but they have them for whoever has that kind of coin. So they still got Alien and Spider-Man, like a diamond Iron Man, the Japanese Spider-Man, Scarlett Johansson, Lady Pool, and they got Wolverine. Wolverine is about the coolest one that they got over here. 50,000 yen. He's pretty cool. Galen Urso. Wow, look at that.